Yeah, I mean, I kind of hate ads a little bit, but it's a necessary evil.
And then when China comes over to take us over,
And they're going to know my uncle's birthday. Welcome to a Lunchtime Conversation.
You can count on a new episode of a Lunchtime Conversation every Monday morning.
Okay, so today's topic, I wanted to talk about advertisements. Like a lot of people say that they don't ads, like they could do without ads, right? That sucks. Hate watching them. I've heard people say that they've never bought anything from a door-to-door salesman. They've never bought anything or gone to any place off of a billboard. And I say bullshit. And a lot of people don't like targeted ads either. Like, you know, when you're scrolling through Facebook, you're scrolling through Reddit, you're scrolling through YouTube, and these ads come up, but they're just about the thing that you just searched. A lot of people hate that shit because they're being tracked. My take, here's the hot take, I guess, for this might be hot, is I actually kind of like that stuff. And I wish it was a little bit better than it is. I hate seeing the ad for the thing I just Googled. I don't give a shit. Like, I looked it up already. I don't need to continue to see it for 3 more weeks. I want to, but I absolutely care about seeing ads for the things that I'm interested in. If I'm going to see an ad, which they are part of our life, if I'm going to see one, then I want it to be relevant. I want it to be something I'm interested in.
You're saying target the hell out of me.
Target me, yes. And give me the shit I'm interested in.
I'm one of those people you're saying where it's like, I hate ads. I get so annoyed when I go pull up a YouTube video and I cannot skip an ad.
But they pay for the video.
They pay for the video, but I agree. I don't like to have to. I like when they give me the ability to skip it, because going back to your targeted ads,
yeah,
I don't skip the ones I'm interested in.
So yeah, I'll catch myself all the time. Like, I'm waiting for this video to start, and then it comes up, boom, boom, boom. Oh shit, what's this about?
Yeah,
and I'll watch. I'm like, oh, I'm actually interested in this. Let's see what they got.
There are many times that I watch the ad because I like it. The other thing I would say. So I'm in the camp. I think I'm more with you. I love the targeted ads because it's stuff that I haven't seen, but I'm interested in. And the other thing that I like is I've noticed it on YouTube, maybe Instagram, where they will let you vote. They'll say, hey, do out of these 5 things, which one or what movie in the next few months would you go see? And they list out a whole bunch of movies. And I click, I want to see that one. I want to see that one. And that one.
You like those?
Oh, I love it.
They're just collecting your data to sell it.
They collect the data anyway.
Yes. I loved, it was probably 6-7 years ago. I got a new smartphone. I opened it up. It was the first time I'd ever used it. I put in my credentials and it said, hey, your typical commute to work is 35 minutes. Would you like us to open Spotify when you leave to work and start playing music? And I could have been mad that, like, why do you know that about me? But guess what? They do. They know. And so if you're gonna spy on me, then give me the benefits of spying on me. At least
exactly.
At least give me ads that would help me with, like, show me like supplements that are the highest tested supplements, so that when I buy vitamins, I know I'm getting the best stuff and like that.
Dude, that's a lot to dig into. First off, they are spying on you.
Yes.
Second off, why are you okay with that? Just because they've used that data to give you the targeted ads now? You shouldn't be okay with that.
What are they going to use spying on me for?
Listen, I don't know, but it's the fact that they do. The fact that my phone has a microphone on it that listens, that knows.
If you really care,
I'm talking about X, Y, or Z, and then I pull up Facebook and now X, Y, or Z is on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're saying that that's a good thing for humans in terms of advertisement, but why is that even a feature?
Because it makes your life easier. If your phone can learn about you, then it can do things for you to make your life easier. It can know your commute and be like, hey, Trevin, you're on your commute. Here's your favorite Monday morning songs.
Yeah, but
because you specifically choose these songs on Mondays.
Do you want me to play this song on Monday morning, or do you want me to play it on Tuesday morning?
That's dangerous.
And you're like, hell
dangerous, man.
And then people type, you use the calendar on your phone, and it'd be nice if the calendar would know, hey, it looks like you said happy birthday to so-and-so on this day. Would you like me to enter that into your calendar for future?
To remind you.
Thank you. Yes, please. Because I wouldn't do that on my own. I don't think of that stuff. Yes, please.
Oh, dude, I don't know. No, they're gonna know your route to work and exactly where to get you.
Dude, someone who really wants to know my route to work, they just got to sit out in front of my house for a couple hours and then just follow me to work. And then they're like, okay, does he take the same route every day? You fucking betcha. I take the same exact route every single day. It's not that hard to learn. And like, anybody who really wants to learn what you do or what you like or your data just has to watch you for like.
All I'm saying is that there's hidden problems within what you're saying.
Okay, so make your, obviously it's a violation of your privacy. What's the negative of them spying on you and knowing you, other than like?
I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head.
Sure, okay.
There's got to be a reason they do it.
So I
make money off of you.
To make money off of you, and the privacy thing is different. Like especially for me, like if I found out my Wi-Fi router was able to like use sonographs and then use information to be able to have a 3D picture and video of me doing everything at all times in my home, and then was selling it to people in different countries. You know what I mean? Like I can see why privacy exists. Like you should be able to go to your home. You should be able to have privacy. The things you look up online should be able to be private. Like you should be able to talk to people and have confidence that just you and that person are in that conversation. So I can see why privacy is a concern, but I don't know. I'm so torn because
go ahead, sorry.
It doesn't bother me because I don't have anything to hide right now. Yes. But what worries me is that I don't trust our government because they do a lot of shady stuff. And if there ever was a day that they decided to go really bad, that's what scares me, is because they have so much access. And so that's my only and I bet that's where your concern comes from, is I'm okay with it right now, but in 3 years from now, when the government stops by and takes my kids from me because X, Y, or Z, I said this and the government doesn't agree with it, that's where it gets scary.
So that's the good argument, is I'm okay with it until it gets used against me. So if I say, fuck the U.S., fuck the government or whatever,
it's going to get used against you because you're okay with it right now. That's the problem.
But it's not getting used against me.
But it could.
It could. But I believe, and you guys are highly conspiratorial, and you guys hate the government and all sorts of stuff, right? I'm less so. So I believe that there is enough in place that if you shouldn't, and you can't do that. If the government was using this stuff blatantly against you, then there would be outcry, outrage, and people would get in trouble because it is illegal to do that kind of stuff, to use the data in that way. But the amount of benefit that it can bring and does bring is huge. It's a huge amount. So I'm not willing to give up. Sort of. I'm getting out on a limb now. I'm not super willing to give up the benefit that it brings for the potential that maybe one day the government goes hella rogue, and if you say fuck Joe Biden, that they're coming to get me in a week because my phone heard me say that. That's just so far-fetched for me that
until
that's crazy. Yeah, okay, but I don't believe that that's going to happen. And you guys are so, I'm being general, but you guys are like, no, the possibility, even if it's an inkling of a possibility, means never. I'm not okay with it.
Yeah, honestly, really, yeah. And just because you have nothing to hide right now does not mean you should be okay with it. In my opinion.
And I agree. Like, just so like if a cop comes and like wants to search my house or whatever, well, if you have nothing to hide, then you shouldn't be worried. No. There's still laws, and I still have my right to privacy. There's still laws. I still have my right to my privacy. Cops aren't allowed to get into my phone, and they're not allowed to read my data, and they're not allowed to do these things. My data is only allowed to be used in the way that I allow it to be used, which is mostly right now just advertising. And I've bought things on targeted ads before.
Dude, I think the one everybody has. Otherwise, they wouldn't. They wouldn't.
It's not good. Yeah, but people. So many people have actually bought things or done things based on advertisements, but yet they hate them.
And it's Christmas time right now. There's so many ads that I've seen. I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm glad that popped up. I click on it. I look at it. Oh, that's a decent price. I order it. Here's the thing that frustrates me. One of the things I order is coming from China. Good heavens, 2-day Amazon shipping. Get it here. But like I enjoy the.
I want it now.
I know. We're spoiled. I do enjoy the advertising. It does concern me, but at the same time, it doesn't concern me enough that I've thrown my phone away.
Yeah, me neither. Otherwise, I would have thrown.
Or I don't use the internet, or I don't play video games. Like, so that's where it's hard. Like I
struggle with it. I struggle with it in the sense of like, one, I know it pays for YouTube videos, for instance. Mm-hmm. I know it pays for TV producers to make shows. I know it pays for X, Y, or Z. There's a benefit for the creator to advertise.
Mm-hmm. And the consumer.
Well, because
you
I'm
don't have to
consuming
pay for
that stuff.
content.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So I know there's a benefit. That's why I struggle with it. But at the same time, I'll be watching TV, watching football, watching whatever, and you see the same repetitive ad every single
that's
time.
dumb shit. I hate that.
And it's like for erectile dysfunction pills. That shit is over the top.
But
that's where
TV doesn't target the ads.
No, I know. But if
they
it was
try
the
to.
same repetitive targeted ad, I'd still be like,
Oh
dude,
yeah.
I don't want your action figure. I like those action figures.
You ever get on
I don't want it.
those websites where you've got all the ad boxes, right? Like the top one, the overlay, the sidebars, and they're all the same ad.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking hate that.
I search for like backpacks a lot. I like backpacks for some reason. And like I'll just like backpacks. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like I looked at the ones I wanted. And but going back, that's where I like targeted ads because I would hope it's smart enough to be like, he bought one. He doesn't need this. He might want like a water sterilization system to go in his backpack for hiking.
Oh,
let's try that.
He bought an outdoor backpack.
Yeah, he didn't like the water sterilization. What about a hatchet? Let's throw a hatchet up. I would like it to be smart enough to always show me something different but from an advertisement standpoint. And so here's the thing, I would be more okay with advertisement companies having my information than the government. Maybe that's where we draw the line is the government can never, and they have, like I know the government tried to get with Apple one time to unlock a phone and I said, no,
let them.
we're not going to, which I think that's how it should be.
We have a privacy policy.
We have a privacy policy and you don't get access to this. It's not yours.
Yep, and that's good stuff. I like that. Then you can't just rely heavily on just the private companies to be able to do that because they also sell your information to people who will do whatever they want.
And they could have went to someone working at Apple and been like, hey, I'll pay you $75 million if you give me this.
So you can't just say, well, yeah, like we can't just, that's the fix. But like the amount of benefit that it brings, it's mild. So I'll give it that.
Yeah.
But I would prefer it over seeing Barbie ads. Like I don't want to see that. I'm not interested in that. Right?
Yep.
If I'm going to see an ad, give me something that I want to buy. I don't want to miss out on this new product because I'm not searching for it. This new product that I would actually thoroughly enjoy, but I didn't search for it. I didn't know it even existed. And so I didn't even get to see it or take part in it.
Yeah, I remember talking to you about this
sale.
A month, 2 months, 3 months ago, something like that. And I really don't like ads, but back like then, I really, really didn't like ads. And you said something about the targeted ads and how they benefit you, similar to what you're saying now. And it kind of brought me into the targeted ads a little bit of like, okay, I can see where you're coming from a consumerism standpoint. Like it does make your life easier to figure out what you want to buy or what you need from that stance. I still don't know if I like ads.
Just because they get in the way of the things that I want, but it's a necessary evil.
And hold on,
for a lot of our lives.
Are targeted ads like futuristic style of, or it's the progression of ads? Because let's be honest, like when we were kids, ads were billboards on the wall or like posters and crazy commercials on TV or radio that had no relevance to anything. It's just shotgun ads out as much as you can. And that's probably why I hate ads, is because that's what I grew up with.
Yes.
But like in the future, when you have your implants in your eyes and you're walking down the street and the billboard reads the targeted ad for every individual differently, that might actually be kind of cool because I'm like, I did talk to my wife about buying my son an RC car. Like that's the one I want right there.
Or you're walking down a street in a city that you go to all the time, but it pops up and says, hey, I know that you mentioned the other day you really like Vietnamese sandwiches. There's a new Vietnamese sandwich place around the corner that you've never heard about. You should stop in and check it out. Like,
dude, that's so dangerous.
Why?
Dude, we're going to get to the point where it's going to read your gut biome and be like, you know what you're really craving today? You're craving this. And you're like, oh, that ad came from my DNA.
Yeah.
Awesome. Give it to me.
Here's what you need right now to be at optimal happiness.
Or like, here's what vitamin deficiency you have, so you need Subway.
Yes.
But it's Subway paying for the ad.
Go to get
Subway's paying for it.
Here's a dangerous thing. Like you're talking about like futuristic style of ads like that, like in your eyeball or something. Could they push it to where it's more centered in your focal vision? So it's like your focal point.
I think that would be regulated.
Or like you're driving down the street and your windshield is an ad.
Yes, that's where we need government to come in, because as a corporation, I want it to be
in your face.
In your face. I want it to be the only thing that you can look at. I want to make sure that you see it. But then government comes in and says, hold the fuck on. You're going to cause crashes. We can't have that. You're limited to, 3 3 inches to the right and 4 inches down in the windshield, and that's all you get.
And only while they're stopped at a red light or in park.
Exactly. And then the corporation's like, oh man.
But again, here I go back to I don't want government to do it because I so distrust government. I hope that the car companies would just do this.
They wouldn't though.
No, I think they would. I look at Elon Musk bought Twitter just because he didn't like how much it was being controlled by a certain wing of the government.
So, okay, yes, I like that. Because you're good. But you are putting the reliance on the good heart of the corporation and the leaders of the corporation.
Then all they want is
where the government is expected to regulate that type of stuff, is expected to keep things safe for us and to keep things moving, or whatever, right? There's the good faith and then the expectation.
So that's the C answer, is to have government do it. The B answer is that corporations would do it, and the A answer is the people would demand it to be safe and healthy and good for society.
I think that's a really good take. That's not hot at all. That's cold as shit. That's a good one.
No, I got a real hot take here.
Okay, give it to us.
Advertisements should not be allowed to be posted on emergency videos. For instance, CPR video. You should not be able to throw an advertisement up on how to give CPR.
Who's gonna make that happen?
I know where you're going. The government. Or how to fix your pipe that's leaking into your house right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need that video now because it's an emergency, but I got to watch a 30-second non-skippable ad.
God damn it.
That's targeted at me. Here's the pipe wrench you need to fix your pipe. I don't do this.
Yes.
Have you guys ever bought anything from a door-to-door salesman?
Yes, we have bought pest control.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about
Same.
I have not. And I also have a no soliciting sticker on my door.
So but they don't give a shit. Yeah.
They actually do. I've seen them turn around from my camera after they've read it before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Multiple times. It's worked. In my city, it's actually a law that if you have a no soliciting sign, they can't solicit. And they have to wear badges around their neck to show what they're true they're like solicitors for the city.
They're licensed.
They're licensed, yeah. And they're not just like scummy door-to-door salesmen.
You do have to get licensed. And then it depends on where you're at, whether it's legal or not. So an aggressive door-to-door salesman.
So a security door-to-door salesman.
Yes, even those was yes. But the assumption is, well, you can't trust the no soliciting signs because they could have just moved in and then that home had that one.
Yeah.
So they may actually not be okay with solicitors or whatever. And, it is a little bit of a scummy of a way of selling things, but sometimes, I still give the people like a little bit of a respect, at least. I'll hear your pitch and I'll decide if I want it or not.
So did you do summer sales?
I did.
So I did as well. And we would go to the city offices, and there were certain cities that were happy to have us there. And they're like, yeah, go out and have fun. Thanks for coming in to get because you have to have a permit.
Yep.
But there were other cities that they were like, if we get one call, we're revoking your permit. So be on your best behavior. And so we had to act differently in those cities.
Oh,
so
okay.
it is different from city to city.
So what's your point with door-to-door salesman though?
I'm just curious if you've ever bought, because
that's not targeted at all. That's a shocking.
You're right, but it is an ad. It's a different time of advertising.
It is an ad.
Sales, I guess.
But another reason I don't like it is probably because of the door-to-door salesmen.
They're invasive.
That I've had. Yeah, they're invasive. But they're selling stuff that is, one, I believe way overpriced in a lot of cases. And two, it's stuff that I probably don't need to be spending my money on right now.
Yes. I think that's why a lot of things end up being door-to-door, is because they're things that you don't often search for.
Like, I don't need a home air purifier. I don't need a vacuum cleaner, the 13th vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
I don't need a security system. If I want one, I'll look online
and it's designed to get you to buy it now. You don't need to do research. Like, I'm gonna sell it in a way that you're just gonna buy it now and not do any research.
Yeah, Nancy said your house is the perfect candidate because you're on this corner, which would be awesome. Mm-hmm. We're actually going to hook you up with a deal. Did you want one free key fob, or did you want two? Oh, let me go look at your back door. You walk in the door. Next thing you know, you're sitting down and you're signing it with them.
That's the stuff I say no to almost immediately. Is the scummy ones who are like, hey, I just installed this over at your neighbors. They said you might like it. Bro, I don't even know my neighbor's first name.
What's
Yeah.
their name?
Yeah, they did not say I might
I've
like
never
it.
met my neighbors. I've only been here for 3 weeks, my guy.
Be like, I am actually robbing this house, so I don't even live here.
Come on in.
Yeah, install that bad boy. Actually, this door's locked. Can you open it?
Okay, any other hot takes on that one?
I like them. I want more of them. I want them to be better, more specific, but I want the companies to own it. And again, I go back to my C, B, and A answers. I would hope that we as a society push it in a direction that would be healthy and good for society. But it is dangerous. We got to be careful.
I don't know if I trust it. That's just my thing. Like, I have a hard time trusting.
Throw your phone away.
Can't.
Live in the mountains and milk a
addicted.
cow every day.
I can't. I'm addicted, dude.
Just for the ads.
I'll suffer through the what ifs that might happen just because I'm lazy.
And it's nice. And the what ifs are very small. I do agree with you. It's a very small percentage, but oh man, if they did, if the government decided to go like Nazi style and just rounding people
We've
up and
done it.
putting
It's
them in
not just
camps.
Our government, like in war, we've heard people open their phones up, call someone and go, that's the guy we're hunting. He just made that phone call.
Yeah.
On that house.
Yep. Oh, there was 15 civilians in that house. Well, it's part of war.
Yeah, we got the guy.
And it's sad and it's dangerous.
But we got the bad guy in the war.
I know.
Our perception of the bad guy, sure. You're going to be the perception of the bad guy when China
Here's
invades.
okay. Maybe we'll open another door here. The tracking. Okay. Now we're getting into when what was his name? Robert Snowden. Is it Robert?
Edward.
Edward Snowden. He came out and said, the government is listening, the government's tracking, and people didn't really care. I think this goes back to some of our conversation in the past. Is like it doesn't affect you personally in the moments. You don't really care until it affects you. And I'm hella victim to this because these targeted ads, this listening to my data, this knowing when I'm in that geofence or not, I don't really care because it actually provides me a benefit in many ways. It doesn't really affect me other than that, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
And I know that the moment I will care is when it does affect me negatively.
What if somebody could convince you or unveil the curtain in front of you as to what's happening with that data? What would be the oh shit points in your head where you're like, I don't know if I like this anymore?
I don't know, man.
Like, what are the consequences?
It would have to affect my life, I feel.
Let me go down this rabbit hole, very conspiracy theory type stuff. What if some stuff got leaked that the government was categorizing people, and you found out that because Jordan and myself do not trust the government, we're on like the kill list for when the government does a takeover? Would that be like, hey, that's not fair? I like those two.
Yeah, that's pretty extreme. Because you made that pretty extreme.
But the thing is, so now let me get it into reality. There are people. So there's a guy, Mike Glover. He was an Army Special Forces. He got out of the Army. He's been very vocal about how he doesn't like the government. And now his job is he's teaching people how to be self-reliant, how to can peaches, how to hunt, how to protect themselves. He was labeled a domestic terrorist because he has the capabilities, because he was in the Special Forces, and now he's teaching people how to survive on their own. And so he has been labeled by the FBI and CIA as a domestic terrorist. This is an awesome, good dude that's done nothing wrong, but he's very vocal that he doesn't like the government, and that he has also been trying to teach people how to be self-reliant and not rely on the government. So he's labeled as a domestic terrorist.
But did they get that information from mining his phone data?
No, I think it's because of the stuff that he pushes. He pushes that you should learn how to protect yourself. You should learn how to shoot a gun. You should take jiu-jitsu. You should learn how to can peaches. You should have a farm so that if
I would think that there's more to the story because there's many people that do that. There's many people that push those exact same things. And I guess I wouldn't know, but I would imagine that they're not on that same list.
I think it's because of his popularity is the reason he's on the list.
I haven't heard.
He's looked at as like almost the cult leader of the people that want to overthrow the government because they don't like him, even though he's never
then
pushed
maybe
that.
there you go. If he's held to this high standard of these people that actively want to destroy government, then you go, okay, well, there's this group of people who don't like government and actually want to enact violence on government, and he's seen as their leader. Okay, then I could see him as being labeled that way.
But he's never said that. Like he's being thrown in a basket with people that he's never associated with is the problem. I'll do some research. His is the only one that's very sketchy. It's like,
okay.
It's legitimately like he's been on Joe Rogan's podcast and they've talked about it. And Joe Rogan's like, why? And he's like, I don't know. He thinks it's because he's vocal against the government, but he thinks it's because of his training, because he wasn't.
Are you sure it's not because he's building bombs in his garage and his phone's recording it?
Yeah, like we're gonna get like some documentary one day. It was like, yeah, but actually, you had kids in his basement. Like all sorts of weird shit.
That would suck.
But I mean, okay, that's an extreme of
True.
You know, he's being labeled this way and he's been put on these lists. But your everyday Joe Schmo.
I'm not on a list, and I'm just against the government.
Yeah, I used to, when I was really young, you know, just fresh out of high school, I tried to get on some of those lists. You know, me and some buddies would get on the phone call and we'd say shit like, "Hey, Operation, you know, Uncle Sam's Tears, is it still ready to go?"
Really, just to try to mess around?
Okay, well, I'm coming home with lunch, so you know, like whatever.
That's a real thing, by the way. Like
maybe we are on a list.
No, dude, in Discord servers, they have taken down full like drug rackets and like people planning shootings, people planning domestic terrorist attacks because of like Discord servers.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're listening to that. They're monitoring it.
Yeah, but what I would expect is that things are happening that are outside of the privacy, outside of the policy of Discord, let's say, and
it gets flagged on there.
And it gets flagged because they're using certain words or something, or there is a whistleblower within the community, and then that gets ran up the chain. Not that the government is coming in and saying, what's going on in Discord?
Everybody has their own one FBI guy behind a screen watching them.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
That would just take so much manpower. I bet that there is a reasonable, more or less reasonable way that stuff comes, and it's not just government listening. Like, just that's such a leap. There are many steps to get there, I would say. Unconvinced.
I'll do some more research.
Okay. Bring it up on a future episode.
Yes.
Hey, you remember that time about that guy?
We're gonna just have Mike Glover over.
There you go.
We'll chat with him. We'll get the whole story.
Hey, reach out. Come on.
I don't know if I want a domestic terrorist on.
Yeah, then we're listed.
Because
We'll just do it over the phone. We'll just do it over the phone.
Good stuff.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Still don't like advertisements.
I love them. Bring them on.
That's
specific.
That's probably what we should ask. Like, people listening, do you like advertisements? Or what's your argument that we totally missed on, that maybe the reason you don't like them, or that you do, that we just didn't even talk about?
Yep.
Call me out. I got some hot takes on that one.
Please
so
call them out. Cool. Thanks, Brad.
See ya. Let us know what you thought on our socials about this episode, and get back to us if you have any thoughts or feelings.
We're streaming on all major podcast platforms, so go check us out every Monday morning.